Welcome to Star Trek Redemption, a new Star Trek campaign here at Blades and Blasters episodic. This is meant to be very similar to our D6 Star Wars campaign in the way that Bo runs that game. Shorter mission-based gaming. Tonight we have Zephyr playing Commander Verma, Ghost playing Dr. Kaiser, TD playing Ensign Faulkner, and Bo playing Ensign Payne. I'm going to read a little bit of an intro briefly. So it is the 24th century, 2366 to be exact. Your mission is aboard the USS Saturn, a Galaxy-class Federation starship on a mission of exploration. You are mostly ensigns, having been aboard the Saturn for varying lengths, but for most less than 1 year. That time has been spent with distant missions of exploration, negotiations, and an incredible amount of sensor data. To say it has been exciting would be a lie. Captain Audrey Benson is your leader. She is well respected throughout the Federation, as well liked by the crew. She has an easy way about her that seems to inspire loyalty. Some consider a bit lax in the discipline department, but there have been few problems about the USS Saturn and her previous commands that no one seems to care overly much. 2 weeks ago, the Saturn docked at Narinda Station for supplies and minor repairs, but the ship ended up in dock for much longer than anticipated. As ensigns, you don't know the whole story, but just 2 days ago, you finally were on your way again. This time, you were heading to the Shackleton Expanse, a nearly completely uncharted area of space. This made sense as your mission was exploration, but the odd thing was that you are now escorting an old cargo freighter called the USS Freedom. Yesterday morning, the captain held an all-hands, informing all officers that they intended to rendezvous with a Klingon ship in the Expanse, and that the meeting was of great importance. She advised caution when dealing with the Klingons, but ordered the crew to stand down in case they were surprised by cloaked ships. This was a mission of peace. She said nothing more. The rumors have been spreading like wildfire, but as of yet, there is no sign of Klingons after your third day into the Expanse. So tokens. There, guys. It's weird that you can't see it. Alright, sorry about that. So if you scroll to your very right, and I'll ping where you are, that should have brought you over. You should see that you are just entering the Shackleton Expanse, going from Starbase 364 Narinda Station. Three of you, the three ensigns, which include Ensign Faulkner, Ensign Payne, and Dr. Kaiser, are aboard the USS Saturn. Commander Verma is the commanding officer of the USS Freedom, a cargo ship that is in tow with you. Only an hour ago, the doctor and the two ensigns boarded a shuttle, were told to board a shuttle from the USS Saturn and to go to the USS Freedom. For the two ensigns, your job is very mundane: to take readings from the cargo, which you know very little about, but each of you have seen it, is a large cylinder in the cargo hold of the Freedom. You know very little about it other than what, sensor data to take, to just basically take your tricorder and scan it on a predetermined frequency to gather the data from it. The doctor is being sent because one of the crewmen on the USS Saturn has fallen ill. And that brings you, I will let you each describe those that are on the shuttle going over to the Saturn, which is the 3 ensigns. Go ahead and feel free to give me a bit about your characters. An intro, if you will.
I'll go ahead.
Yeah,
So, Dr. Kaiser was born on colony Alpha Gamulon. It's a larger Federation colony, fairly close to Earth, but not too close, obviously. Colony as it is, more of a space station than an actual planet-side thing. He grew up there, the son of 2 merchants, heir to a merchant, I wouldn't say empire, but merchant business. So he learned quite a bit about business, trade, things like that, but was always more interested in the uses for what they were selling. They were tradesmen for medical equipment. He was always more interested in helping people, whereas his parents, while they did everything by the book and legal for the most part, they were to an extent swindlers just within the law. They did not much appreciate their behavior. So, sort of against his parents' wishes, decided to sign up for Starfleet when he was old enough to do so, and essentially went through it with flying colors. His primary focus and study was medicine, understanding a few sciences on the side, but mainly the sciences of helping people. That was his big thing, was trying to help the galaxy make a better place. He suffered a few traumas in Starfleet early in his career. He was posted on the USS Gerlukovich. Nothing too crazy happened at first, but then just an unidentified ship shot it down. All hands tried to abandon, but many were lost. And so it was 9 months of surviving on a nearby Class M planet that they happened to escape on in escape shuttles, until they were rescued by a different passing starship that picked up their distress signal. It dampened his spirits a bit, but he is still very much naive as far as the universe is concerned. He believes everyone can be helped. He believes strongly that it can be done without violence. But, of course, the universe has its ways that it works, and he will have to learn them sooner rather than later, and that's a naive viewpoint, as we all know, observing from the outside looking in. But Dr. Kaiser would be sitting towards the back of the shuttle, just going over any notes that he has on this crewman's illness.
Yeah, the notes that you have ascertained, it seems like something akin to the flu. You're not overly worried about his health, but you are like a low-level doctor, probably one of the lowest on the Saturn, so you're charged with going over the Freedom that does not have their own doctor. They have a medic. Okay. Who's next? Bo or TD?
Why don't you go ahead, TD?
Yeah, TD.
You're muted if you're speaking.
All right, I'll go. Ensign Payne, Broderick Payne, is sitting in the shuttle on the way over to the larger vessel, staring out one of the viewports next to the good doctor and Ensign Faulkner. Ensign Payne has been on Starfleet for a few years and has seen well, we could say he'd seen a lot of action, but like we heard in the introduction, not a lot has happened. He hasn't had too many opportunities to display his skills as a security officer. He grew up in a family that had a long pedigree with Starfleet. His mother was a doctor and father was a security officer as well. And we'll just say that some commingling happened on one of the missions, and so Broderick Payne was conceived and born. He is a plainly spoken man and can be blunt when the time calls for it, but usually keeps to himself. He's fairly tall and trim, carries himself with purpose, and is called upon again like as a security officer. He's especially trained in non-lethal forms of hand-to-hand combat and phasers, and has some knowledge of medicine as well, doing a brief stint as a combat medic prior to joining Starfleet proper.
Okay. Are you back, TD?
Yeah, but give me a please.
Okay. So the scene switches, and sitting on the bridge of the USS Freedom is Commander Verma. You have, unfortunately, no idea what this cargo is, but you know that this duty was important. You also know that the USS Freedom was chosen mostly by happenstance, and that you were the only cargo ship large enough to take this cargo with the USS Saturn. You're under no pretense that you were chosen on purpose for your skill or anything of that nature. As you sit here, simply flying alongside the USS Saturn, knowing, however, that you are supposed to meet with Klingons, you were filled in to that point at least. What is your thoughts, your background, that sort of thing? So I'll let you do your intro here. Yes, do whatever you want.
So okay. So as the camera pans around the bridge of the USS Freedom, it kind of focuses on the folks around. Everybody is busy with activity. Heads are down, looking at, sensor output, engine output, the con output, and so on. And eventually, the camera comes to rest on Commander Verma, who's sitting in the captain's chair. Commander Verma is in his mid-30s. You can see the way he sits, and he has his face is set in this look and demeanor of quiet determination. He is attentive to everything that's happening on the bridge. He's tall, muscular, with a well-defined jaw, kind of giving him that aristocratic look and bearing. And as he's sitting on the captain's chair at the moment, he is reviewing the latest report from the various departments of the USS Freedom. Everything seems to be in order, except for the engines. On the USS Freedom, she's an older cargo ship. Duty has left her needing for a refit, for some time now. But no matter, he and his engineering crew can, do their best, give her that little extra to keep up with the USS Saturn. It's a challenge, but that's what he and his men have been trained for, and he looks forward to it. And so as he's reviewing the reports and just kind of overhearing, chatter on the bridge, his thoughts start to slip away, and kind of starts thinking to himself, it's been a few years, being assigned to a cargo ship, there is some aspects of it that one would say is boring, repetitive, slow. She's no Starfleet, flagship. She's not a Galaxy class like the USS Saturn. The best she can hope for is maybe warp factor 3 or 4, and if you push it long and hard enough, maybe warp factor 5, without breaking the entire hull apart. As sitting there, he can't but help his thoughts go back to that fateful day almost 3 years ago. He can't quite remember the star date. It's strange that he can't remember it, given that particular star date changed everything for Commander Verma. Commander Verma is one of those Starfleet officers that was groomed from day one. His family history always preceded him. Grandfather was an Admiral, Ranjit Verma. Admiral Kirk himself, put put his lieutenant lapels on him when he graduated. His father was a captain, Tanveer Verma, and great things were expected of Vishwajit. He excelled. He was given every opportunity to succeed, and he did. And there were a lot of hopes put on him, which kind of led to a chip on his shoulder, which led to this sense of entitlement. And as always, life has a way of putting things in perspective. And for Verma, it happened the hard way. He was on the USS Endeavour, the executive officer. He was running a tight ship, as all executive officers are supposed to do. He made sure the crew morale was always strong, did what the captain asked him to do, learned everything that he could from his captain, all the while his sights were getting his own ship. Little did he think that his own ship would be a cargo class USS Freedom. He was zealous. I think that was his mistake. Overzealous in trying to make a name for himself. He ended up leading the Endeavour into a dangerous situation. The Endeavour picked up on its sensors an alien life form, and he chose to pursue it on his watch. The captain advised him against it, but Commander Verma has a way about him. When he sets his mind to something, he gets his way. Soon they were tracking the alien. The sensors were reading things normal, and when they got within contact range, something felt off. Something his gut told him that this is too easy. Before you know it, the USS Endeavour was attacked. Ship systems started failing, shields were down, the hull was compromised, and that's when Commander Verma realized that a career at the cost of his crew is not what Starfleet had trained him for. His training kicked in, he took over the con, and he was somehow able to get that ship out of there. Many people lost their lives that fateful day. He was able to save many, but many were still lost, and every crewman that's lost, that's something that any aspiring captain loses sleep over. Starfleet did not like the outcome of that mission. Verma was, you couldn't really demote him because of the political fallout. You couldn't really give him a ship of his own because he had proved himself incapable. The next best thing was cargo runs on a cargo ship, and that's what Verma has been doing for the past 3 years. Maybe this is penance. At least I'm flying a ship, right? be it a cargo ship nonetheless, but still, I'm out here on the edge of space. And as the thoughts kind of drift away, Verma kind of realizes he's drifted off, kind of shakes himself, and pays attention. He's like,
Yes, Commander.
"Lieutenant, is
It
the
is. Should be
shuttle
docking any
en
moment.
route?" Excellent. I shall make my way down there.
Yes, sir.
You have the con. With that, Verma gets off the seat, straightens his uniform, makes his way to the turbo lift, starts
Okay.
making his way to the
The
shuttle
scene
bay.
switches once more with the ship coming in to dock with the Freedom. And this would be Ensign Faulkner piloting the ship. Feel free to go ahead and give your intro. Still black for you, PD?
Yeah, it is now again. It was. I could see, but
Ensign Faulkner. Are you sure you're looking at the right spot?
I just went to where you pinged.
Can everybody else see?
Yeah, I can see.
I can see it. Yes. Is his sight turned on and stuff?
The token might not be on this. Make sure. He said he could see, so that makes me think that it is on, but it's not. Okay, I'll fix that.
Oh,
All right.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
And you said you go ahead and give a little bio.
Yep.
Nolan Faulkner, born on Terra or Earth, decided at a very young age that he wanted to join Starfleet, and so at the earliest possible age he did. Coming from a father who was an engineer and a mother who taught at a local college, Nolan had all the skills and knowledge he could ever need at his fingertips. He took on the very commanding tone of his mother and the practicality of his father. Nolan had an extra something special. Guts. Something he has always followed. Applying logic and a sense of command to these gut feelings, he rose fast and did well in the academy. Found a way of using his gut and found his way to piloting, where he really excelled. And the camera kind of pans into the back of Faulkner's head, begins to slowly come around to face where it seems like he may be spacing out a little bit as he's remembering some of the training assignments and simulations. He's just sort of blank, sitting there. And begins to come to. Excuse me. And you said you need me to pilot
Yeah,
in here?
you're doc. You don't have to roll anything. This is quite easy.
Okay.
You bring this ship around, and you're able to fly into the hangar bay. Your ship is small enough to do so. You land in this very small hangar bay, and it is cramped. And as you sit it down, you see that your ship alerts you that you are cleared to exit the ship.
Okay. Faulkner will see his way up from his seat. Looks around. Everyone. Smooth sailing as usual.
Yes, quite. get up from the back. And I suppose we should go meet the command staff and get directions for where we're going.
Most definitely. I'll let you lead on.
Oh, very well. They have the controls to open. Are our doors already open, or they have the controls to open up?
You can open them. Yeah,
Okay.
you open them. Yeah.
I'd go ahead and just type in a couple of things on the panel. If the door's open.
The door's open.
Start walking out. I obviously have any equipment that I would need, but I imagine probably not much since it's just a lot of it on board here.
Yeah, you might have like a little quote unquote suitcase, if you will, medical supplies for basic stuff.
Faulkner will just follow in behind.
Same with Payne. Kind of stands up and adjusts the communicator on his lapel, stretches his legs up a little bit. He's feeling a little bit cramped in the shuttle and walks down the ramp behind the others, kind of taking in the new surroundings.
You walk through the hangar, and surprisingly, there's not really anybody to meet you there. As you walk towards the hangar doors, they open, and in the hallway you see a man walking in your direction.
So as you guys come around the corner, Commander Verma sees you and, gentlemen, welcome to the USS Freedom. I believe you're the crew sent over from the Saturn.
Faulkner will stand at attention. Commander?
And Kaiser will say, "Oh, yes, sir. I am Ensign Kaiser." Go to shake your hand.
Yep, Verma would shake your hand. My name is Commander Verma, and I'm currently captaining the ship. Whatever facilities we can provide you, gentlemen, are yours to use. Can you tell me a little bit more? What is it that you would like to do on the ship at the moment?
Well, I heard there was a sick man over here that you wanted to have contained. Made sure that we got that taken care of. Lacking a doctor, I was sent over to take care of that issue. My colleagues here have, I believe, some scans they need to perform. I wasn't entirely briefed on that point.
Excellent. You are the doctor. Now I understand. Well, gentlemen, if you would follow me, I will take you to sick bay first. You can let Dr. Kaiser get on with his tasks. And at that point, he turns to Ensign
Payne.
I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
And I guess handshake is appropriate. Okay.
Yeah, he shakes your hand. And
Faulkner
you must
extends a
returns to
hand.
Ensign Faulkner at that point.
Ensign Nolan Faulkner, sir.
Excellent. Follow me, gentlemen, and we should get you squared away pretty quickly. And with that, Commander Verma kind of starts taking them down the corridor towards sickbay first, and then onto the cargo bay where the cargo is kept under.
Yeah, as you are heading
lock and key,
towards
yes.
sick bay, your comm goes off. Commander, it's Lieutenant Jeffries. I know you told me
Go
to
ahead,
stay
Lieutenant.
put, sir, but I'm down at the cargo bay. I wanted to check some readings before the crew of the Saturn got here. Just wanted to make sure everything was tip-top shape, sir. Yeah.
Out of character, is Jeffries the one who's supposed to be in sickbay? Okay. Lieutenant, It was not a suggestion that you stay in sickbay. That was an order. Please get back to sickbay. We have the crew from the Saturn. They can take over at this point.
All right. Yes, sir. And
I
communicator
will see you in sickbay shortly.
goes off, and the turbo lift. Or you walk into the turbo lift. 1 second. And one thing that the ensigns notice that the turbo lift is extremely slow. Definitely and dilapidated compared to what you would see on the Saturn. Be a little. You can interact while you're in the turbo lift as it goes down.
Yes. Excuse the rather quaint-looking turbo lift, gentlemen. It's in working condition. I can reassure you. The Freedom is an old ship, but she is dependable.
Has it been some time since you were in dock for any kind of extensive refit?
Indeed, Dr. Kaiser, it has been some time. The Freedom always finds herself in one mission after the other, and her refit always seems just out of reach. But we do what we can. I have a good engineering team. They work around the clock to keep her running. They have made some interesting modifications while they're at it, but as always, every starship must think of its mission first before itself, and the crew does what it can to
Very
keep
well
it
said,
going.
sir. And you don't mind me saying, in my experience, if it isn't broke, don't fix it.
That's correct, Ensign Faulkner, that is correct. She always seems to teeter on the edge of broke, but somehow she keeps it together, and she's a good ship. The presentation might require some work.
Faulkner will rub
Shows
his
a bit
hand
hard.
on one of the walls, just kind of feeling it. Kind of a little bit gently. Lot of crew come and gone through here, I'm sure. She's seen a lot, but she's got a lot of years left in her, I can tell that much.
That she does. Every captain always thinks his ship will be going on forever, even after he's done with it.
As you say that, the turbo lift doors open, and you kind of walk out into the hallway. And this is a little bit bigger than what you might actually see, so an approximation of the sick bay here on Freedom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even the sick bay you can see, it's the doors, kind of everything. Think of it as a little older than what you're used to on the Saturn. The doors open. We enter. You can see that the beds are also a little older, and they're slightly frayed on the edges, and but everything's in working condition. So, gentlemen, if you'd follow me, Lieutenant Jeffrey should be in. I hope he has followed the orders. He can get a little ahead of himself sometimes, but
And Lieutenant
good
Jeffries
man.
is
His heart's
your
in the
chief
right place.
engineer.
And as he follows, Ensign Payne, being curious with just enough medical knowledge to be dangerous, as they say, asks the farmer a little bit about the situation. So, as they're walking through, obviously not right in front of the lieutenant, but so what are we dealing with here? It sounds like this is more than a common cold.
It is unclear to me. my medical staff is rudimentary. They can handle basic first aid, emergency, field medicine, and trauma, but this is a little bit out of their ballpark. The symptoms are something that we cannot decipher. The Freedom, her computers are also a little dated, so we don't have enough information on the data banks to cross-check these symptoms.
Well, I just like to reassure you, Commander, that you're in good hands with Dr. Kaiser. I've seen him work personally a few times, and he patched me up after a run-in on a jungle planet, and not even a scratch. He shows his arm, or maybe he suffered an injury and there's no scarring or anything like that. Just know that you're in good hands. He'll do a good job.
Excellent, excellent. My crews is always a priority. If they can be provided aid in any way, that's always what I look forward to. Well, let me get out of your way, gentlemen. Dr. Kaiser, here's Lieutenant Jeffries.
As you walk in, Lieutenant Jeffries is sitting on a cot. The first thing you notice, Dr. Kaiser, is he is covered in sweat. Just like his brow is just beading with sweat, and he wipes it off with the sleeve. And he looks up as you kind of walk in and steps up and stands at attention for the commander. Commander?
Lieutenant, at ease. Let a good doctor here check you out.
Nods.
Oh. All right. He goes over to Jeffries after getting on all his equipment, his mask, and everything. All right. So go ahead and lay flat for me.
Oh, okay. Sits back down and kind of swivels and lays down.
Now, tell me when you started to feel sick and what your symptoms were like.
Oh, 2 days ago, a day out of dock. Really, I'm just burning up like it's 10 degrees hotter in here. No, it's just I'm on the sun or something. That, whew.
Can you tell me the things you've been doing the last couple of days? Anything you might have been exposed to you can think of?
Oh, no, I just been trying to keep the cargo bay in working order, just to make sure there's no problems with the cargo. Usually it's just boxes of foodstuffs and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes supplies, all sorts of things, but nothing that's ever been as important as this, I don't think.
Commander, have any scans been run on the lieutenant here prior to our arrival?
Negative, Dr. Kaiser. You would be the first one to give him a thorough check at this point.
All right, Lieutenant, I'm just going to do some preliminary scans of your physiology and make sure everything appears to be in working order and see if we can narrow down what exactly is happening here.
Yeah, of course. All right, go ahead and give me a medicine reason.
Do any focuses apply? Have infectious diseases?
Yeah, sure.
All right. That's always good to hear when infectious diseases applies to medicine reason. Okay.
Yeah.
Good thing you are putting on your personal protection.
Yeah, that's it. I had that planned.
There you go.
Okay. So that is 3 successes. So you're going to get some momentum. So just for those that don't know, difficulty was 1 here. He rolled 2 successes, but one of those successes was under a 5. And so that means, well, under his discipline skill of medicine or meats. And since he has a focus, that means that he gets 2 successes instead of 1. So here he actually gets 3 successes. Okay. So you are scanning him, and one thing becomes apparent that this man is suffering from some sort of radiation sickness.
He looks at it. I have 2, so that's 2 momentum in the pool, right?
That's correct.
Would I be able to spend 1 to get additional information on what I'm looking at beyond just the...
Yes.
Mhm.
So what you see is that it appears that this is radiation from not like a high burst of anything, but like a slow degradation of the cells.
Mhm.
This man, you're not sure what the cause is, but if this man has any prolonged exposure to it, he would eventually probably not only he would have organ failure with direct exposure, but after a time, if he survived, then this man could expect all sorts of problems as he ages, cancers, stuff like that, things that could be treated, but might not be very pleasant for him.
Does it appear his condition's worsening?
You haven't been treating him long enough to know.
Mhm.
That would be something you would have to observe over time.
Gotcha. So Dr. Kaiser look at the scans and that's odd. Are there any... I know you said that the Freedom was a bit of an older ship, Commander Verma. Are there any sources of potential radiation that could have affected this man in cargo?
And when you say the word radiation, Commander Verma's face, you can see his eyes squint, and he's on the verge of scowling, but not yet. Kind of makes his way. Radiation. Lieutenant Jeffries, what parts of the ship have you visited so far? Has it only been the
Mostly,
cargo bay
my
and the
quarters
engine room?
and the mess. I went for a run in the hangar. That's all we have for an exercise facility. But that's since we left. Yeah, I think that's it.
Have you been spending a lot more of your time? Because I remember I'd ordered you to the medical bay, but you still made your way down to the cargo bay. Have you been spending longer in there than
Certainly
anywhere else on
cargo
the
bay.
ship?
That's where I've been the most. Yeah. What is it, Doc? What's wrong?
You have some sort of radiation illness that is affecting you quite heavily, Lieutenant Jeffries. If you had spent much more time around whatever source of radiation this was, I mean, we're looking at potential long-term effects, cancers, cell degradation. It's a good thing we caught this when we did. I'm going to have to confine you here for obvious reasons. We don't want you to bump into that source again, but I will try to work out treatment as quickly as possible.
Oh, that sounds bad. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. He kind of looks over to the commander. Sorry, if you want me to send one of the ensigns to take care of the cargo bay, I can.
That won't be necessary, Lieutenant Jeffries. You have done an excellent job so far. You did your best to keep the ship running, and I want you to take some rest right now. That is important. We can handle it from here. Rest, Lieutenant
Okay,
Jeffries.
sir. I will. Thank you, sir.
Commander Verma hits his comm badge. Vela, right, Lieutenant?
Say that again. Her name is
The one
sorry,
the-
Rella. Yeah, Lieutenant Rella.
Rela,
Yes,
yeah.
Commander.
Lieutenant Rela, I want you to lock the doors to the cargo bay, access only to myself and anyone who
Yes,
is
sir.
authorized by me.
And she pauses for a moment, and you have
Verma
no
out.
doubt that that she has done it.
Well, gentlemen, I can take you to the cargo bay next. Would the ship have some sort of
Yeah, you definitely have EV
protective
suits,
gear
right?
against radiation? Okay. So he says, gentlemen, we can go to the cargo bay. There's a place we can change into EV suits that should keep us protected from any radiation if that's where it is. If not, we can proceed to work our way backwards, unless
Commander, that
you all
seems
have a better
agreeable to
idea.
me, though I would like to stay here to make sure Lieutenant Jeffries is taken care of. I would make one recommendation, though, sir, if I may. Any of the cargo crew that work alongside
please.
Lieutenant Jeffries, if any of them happen to be exhibiting any signs similar to Lieutenant Jeffries, even in early stages of flu-like symptoms, I would recommend sending to me just to make sure that we can keep it contained. I wouldn't want anyone else that was working alongside him to be continuously exposed to this if there are other crew.
I shall do that, Dr. Kaiser. I'll have Lieutenant Rela send them to you immediately. Even if they're not showing any symptoms right now, let them just
Of
come
course.
and meet you. You can give them a quick cursory check just to make sure. Excellent. I shall make that happen. Ensign Faulkner,
Absolutely,
Ensign Payne, if
Commander.
you would follow me, please.
Sure. Payne. We'll follow him out. Do I have access to like a Geiger counter type device?
Yeah, you have your tricorders, which would be able to do that.
Can do
You all have tricorders, yeah. They can do just pretty much any, like a handheld computer.
Yep. So he kind of looks down at his belt and kind of takes that out and idly turns it on and kind of scans around the ship as they're on the way to the cargo bay. Just getting some baseline readings here, Commander.
Excellent, Ensign Payne. As Commander Verma is leaving, he turns to Dr. Kaiser. Dr. Kaiser, every radiation has a signature. If you can find anything of Lieutenant Jeffries, if the radiation has left a signature, if the cells are behaving based on the signature of the radiation he has been exposed to, that might help us to narrow down
Right.
what
I
we're
will
looking
try to
for.
run some tests here to see if I can narrow it down. I must be perfectly honest, if you have a science officer who could better analyze any readings I could send it that way. My primary disciplines, unfortunately, revolve primarily around treating infectious diseases, medicines, things like that. But I can attempt it.
Excellent.
You
Out of
actually do
character,
not.
Do we have a science officer?
Your engineering staff
Okay.
acts as
That's
double
fine.
duty, essentially.
Okay. Unfortunately, Dr. Kaiser, our missions of late have been less of the scientific nature and more of heavy lifting and speed transports of various types of cargoes. We do not have a dedicated science officer
I can try,
on the ship at this time.
Commander. I mean, I can lay here on my back and look up at a tricorder still, I think.
Okay, Lieutenant Jeffries, do that. But, Dr. Kaiser, if you see him straining himself, please stop.
Well, if I strain myself looking at a tricorder, it's a bad day, I think.
Yes, but
Me
I do
either.
not want it to get worse. with that, Commander Verma heads out. On his way, he will reach out to Lieutenant Rella and have her send everyone who's worked in the cargo bay for the past few days down to meet Dr. Kaiser.
So you guys are heading down to the cargo bay in EV suits, correct? All right. Okay, a moment.
Mm-hmm. As they're making their way down there, Commander Verma is going to turn to Ensign Faulkner and he says, Ensign Faulkner, is that the latest generation of Danube class runabouts that you have coming on?
Why, yes it is actually.
Been always curious.
Well,
how does she handle?
A little clunky, but has its smooth operations, but yeah, not overall not too bad. I don't know if this is one of the earlier prototype versions, but I think they're probably smoothing out any wrinkles still.
Excellent. Well, hopefully one day I can get my hands on a Danube class. They may not be as big as a starship, but they are sometimes fun to run about in.
Oh yes, most definitely. They can be fun, but try to treat every one of my or any ship that I might be piloting as still property of as the yep. I mean, everything has its purpose and everything has
I know what
its
you mean,
use,
Ensign.
and all of these do have their uses. I just try to remain as professional as I can, but if nobody's looking, I might cut her loose a little bit.
It's always good to hear.
So the EV suits you find in the hangar, you're able to quickly put those on and head over to the cargo bay. The cargo, you see that the cargo bay, the doors to this particular cargo bay, there's multiple bays in the ship, obviously. And you notice that it is shut, and from what you can tell from the panel, it does appear to be locked.
Allow me, gentlemen. And with that, Commander Verma walks up to the panel and enters one of his lower level security codes to unlock the door. Gentlemen, I recommend we spread out and try and find the source of the radiation. Please be careful. If anything seems untoward, you can always reach each other.
Roger that, Commander. And Ensign makes his way into the cargo hold. He sweeps his tricorder to the left and right. Here, beep, 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 beep. He walks back and forth.
Ensign Faulkner will also begin to make his way in with his tricorder out. It's going to the left.
Eventually, Commander Verma walks in and closes the door behind him and enters the security key again.
Okay.
And pulls out his tricorder and starts taking readings as well.
Would you, everyone, like to give me a science reason? Difficulty is a 2. I don't think anybody has any applicable foci unless it would be, unless you think you would.
No, Burma does not.
I'm sorry, what was that last part? Any
Yeah,
applicable
I
what?
did. I don't think anybody has any applicable focus. So what you would do, click on your token, click on science, and then, yep, you must not have done that correctly. You always get
No,
two
you get
dice.
2 dice. Yeah.
Yep,
Oh, whoops, I'm sorry.
yep. So
Unless
just
there's a
roll
reason
one
not
more.
for it.
Yep,
Yeah, just roll me one more. Yep. 2d20, right?
that was.
Also, remember at any time you can use momentum that you have in the pool to give yourself 1 dice. Oh, look at that. You don't have focus, but so yeah, that wouldn't be 2. It'd
He
be
rolled a
1.
1.
Yeah, but he still doesn't have focus. So if he doesn't have
Mhm.
focus, it wouldn't.
Wouldn't it be? It's under his science, though, isn't it? Or would he still get?
I
2
mean,
for
he would just get 1, right?
focus?
I believe that's correct. Because did you put as a focus on that roll?
Nope, I just rolled everything straight. I just did select an
Okay.
attribute, and then submitted, did 1d20, and then rolled another 1d20.
Okay.
I think I can check the rules, but
Okay,
I
if
think
you
a
just roll
1
one. Okay,
becomes
that's
like a
fine.
natural success.
So I'll give you a momentum for that.
Yeah.
So Ensign Faulkner, I'm gonna whisper you something. Can you not name yourself? Oh, you're the only one named Ensign. Okay. 1 second.
Yeah, I can change it though, just to Faulkner.
No, you're fine. Yeah, can you just change it to Faulkner? I whispered you something.
Commander, I seem to be picking up these odd spikes. Looks like lower level gamma radiation. Not sure exactly what this means, but it's coming through sort of like a pulse.
A pulse, you say? That is interesting. Now that we know what to look for, maybe we can set our tricorders and look for the source.
Agreed.
I recommend we try to triangulate the source of this. Each of us go to a different corner of the room and see who the signal matter.
Excellent suggestion, Ensign Payne. Let's do that. I shall go to the other side of the room. We can each take a door and work our way down.
You each go to basically around the room, and setting your tricorders for this is quite easy. As you do it, you can each tell that you all are seeing the source from the middle of the room, which is the cargo that you brought on board from Narenda Station.
Is everybody else reading this the way I'm reading it? He kind of taps his tricorder.
Does it seem to be indicating that it's coming from the cargo?
X marks the spot right in the center of the room.
I confirm my readings show the same. Well, That is strange. Give me a moment. Commander Verma uses his tricorders to try and see if the manifest file had any special handling instructions for the
The
cargo.
manifest does not say there are special handling instructions, but does say it is top secret and that the cylinder is not to be tampered with in any way.
Okay. Gentlemen, at least now we know the source of the radiation and the type of the radiation. For now, let us leave the room and lock it behind us. I'll have no crew interact with it. I think, given the nature of the mission and the contents, the unknown contents of this container, it would be best to reach out back to the Saturn and confer with them.
Commander, if I may, is it possible that any of this cargo may have left this bay?
The crew were under strict instructions of not to move the cargo once placed here, but we can maybe use our tricorders to see if there is traces of these gamma radiations outside of the cargo quarters.
Again, Commander, I apologize. I'm merely being cautious. I'm not suggesting that your crew would disobey any orders or anything.
Oh, not at all, Ensign Faulkner. That is our duty. We must question everything and seek answers when none are available. No one is beyond doubt, reasonable doubt, and it is always good to be safe. Maybe a crew unknowingly took the cargo out. We never know. But let us make sure so that the radiation does
Faulkner,
not spread.
I say we scan the ship. Do you want fore or aft?
I will go aft.
So,
Excellent, gentlemen. I shall return back to the bridge and get
As
some
you
more
guys are-
information in the meantime for you.
essentially coming to an agreement to what to do. You are rocked from where you're standing. Something impacts the ship. You fly from your feet, slamming into the cargo and the walls around you. Good.
Yeah, Payne is just rocked to his left and his right, and comes down on one of the cargo crates and cracks his lip a little bit. You can see a little bit of blood. What was that?
Commander Verma is thrown backwards and he kind of hits the door behind him and almost rebounding off. He takes a moment to steady himself. Ensign Faulkner, Ensign Payne, are you guys all right?
Why don't you guys roll me a fitness and security roll, difficulty 1. That includes Dr. Kaiser too, where he is.
Focus list.
Ooh.
I think I'll spend some momentum to remove that complication.
Ooh.
Okay. Okay, so let's...
Oh, nice.
Alright, so how much is it to remove a complication? Is it 2? So let's see what we have here.
2.
I believe there's 2 in the pool, maybe more.
So do I generate some momentum with
3.
mine?
Yep, I'll get to you in just a second. So, so we'll take away 2 to remove your complication. You did pass Verma +1. what is your, and you have a 1, so that's actually 2, so you generate 1 as well. Momentum in the pool is now 3. And I believe everybody succeeded. So as you're being thrown around the cargo room, you're able to, through luck or skill, keep yourself from being injured. Back at the, just going to switch scenes very quickly here. Back in the medical bay, similarly, you're thrown. If I can find this thing. 1 second. All right. Dr. Kaiser, you're thrown around, and Lieutenant Jeffries is actually thrown from his cot as you hear a red alert sound and something impact the ship.
What in the world was that? And hit my comm badge. Commander, what's going on? We had a huge impact in medical.
And Commander Verma, yes, we felt it here in the cargo bay as well. I believe Ensign Faulkner and Payne are all right, along with myself. Let me get back to you, Dr. Kaiser. Let me talk to the bridge and find out more. Dr. Verma kind of grabs his comm badge. Lieutenant Vela, report.
I'm here. You're not gonna believe this. We've been attacked, and so is the Saturn. It's in bad shape.
I'm on my way to the bridge. Ensign Faulkner, Ensign Payne, with me, please. And with that, Commander Verma rushes out of the cargo bay and starts heading to the bridge. Yes, that's what she said. We seem to have been attacked, and so is the Saturn, and the Saturn seems to be in a bad shape. I do not know, but we need to get to the bridge immediately to find out more. Commander Verma hits his comm badge. Dr. Kaiser, please secure Lieutenant Jeffries so that he doesn't fall again and hurt himself, and make your way to the bridge immediately, please.
Right, Dr. Kaiser. Understood, Commander. Kaiser out. All right.
Lieutenant Jeffries is. I should be on my feet. We might need repairs. I'll be fine.
Now, Lieutenant. There are plenty of other skilled engineers on this ship, not to besmirch your skill, but you're in a bad way. You need your rest. I'm going to secure you here.
Fine.
If we need you, we'll come get you. All right?
Okay.
Go ahead and secure him in the cot.
Okay, there's like basically a seatbelt for it, more or less. You do that, and everyone rushes to the bridge. Lieutenant Reza is there by herself, like on the at the con panel, like just going to town on it. Her fingers are like zipping through menus, and she's like, okay. And she turns around, and she's got a laceration across her forehead. And she's like, Commander. And she like hits a button and brings something on the screen that does not compute. 1 second. You see out the front of on screen, right? You see this ginormous square. You see beams of energy smashing into the Saturn. Its hull torn apart. Lieutenants, they still have life support, but there's hull breaches on more decks than I can count. Ah, crap. Sorry, TD. And I don't know what that is. They've only hit us once. Communications are down.
Lieutenant Rella, we shall find out. Can you patch us through? Well, no. You keep your eyes on the con. Ensign Payne, I want you to get on. The cargo ships would have some rudimentary
Yes, you have very
weapon systems, right?
Systems.
Okay. Ensign Payne, I want you to get on the security systems and the weapon systems. Bring them online. They are rudimentary, but stand by. Ensign Faulkner, see if you can get us in touch with
Absolutely,
the USS
Commander.
Saturn.
Ensign Payne makes his way over to the weapons systems. He does have some experience with these, and his fingers fly over the controls, and a couple lights turn green and then start to blink, and say, "Weapon systems online, Commander."
Excellent. And you might see, depending on where you're standing on the bridge, you'll see what, like, Verma's right hand is now clenched as a fist beside him while he's kind of directing you guys, at different stations. And his jaw is set, and there's now a full-blown scowl on his face. Lieutenant Rellard, see if you can get us behind the USS
Of course.
Saturn, please.
And she begins piloting the ship. Shields up.
And shields up.
She's like, blood is just dripping into her eyes.
Of course.
Dr. Kaiser, can you please take care of that?
Try to do a
cut for
patch
her.
job on it so it stops blurring her vision.
Yeah, you run across the, I don't know what you would call them, but the cauterizing tool. It closes the wound. She says, yeah, thank you. We're coming around. Impulse engines, they're online. Undamaged. They don't seem to be targeting us anymore, Commander.
Yes, they're going for the bigger prize. Ensign Faulkner,
Trying
have
to
you been
hail
able to
them
get
now.
in touch with them?
I'm curious.
Mhm.
Would I be able to determine what this cube mass is, the ship?
You have no ability to know what that is.
Okay.
As you hail the Saturn, there's no response.
Commander, I'm getting no response.
Lieutenant Rella looks.
No response
at the
from the
commander.
bridge?
Our subspace communications are out, but we should be able to reach them this close. There's no response from the bridge. And if you try other parts of the ship, there's no response either.
All right. Does the Freedom
They do.
have transporter capabilities? All right, Lieutenant Rella, I understand that the situation is something that we have not faced before, but I have trust in you. I want you to keep the ship behind the Saturn at all times. Keep the Saturn
Oh,
between you
What if there's no
and that
Saturn
thing.
left, Commander?
Got it? If there's no
With-
Saturn left, you will warp
Without you,
out of here.
Commander?
You will warp back to the... If need be. I need to know what's happening on that ship. That ship, with its weapon systems, is the only thing we have standing between us and that monstrosity.
Affirm, I'll do it.
Remember, Lieutenant Rella, if you see that the Saturn is starting to fall apart, you will warp out of
Order
here with or
acknowledged,
without
sir.
me. That is an order.
Commander.
All right, gentlemen, if you'd follow me, let's get to the transporter room quickly. We
Absolutely,
need to get on the
Commander.
bridge.
Yes, sir.
Payne steps aside and falls in on Verma's right flank as they make their way towards the transporter.
Faulkner just falls in directly behind.
As they're making their way, Commander Verma says, "Gentlemen, I know you're all well trained. This is what we've always trained for the unexpected out here in space. She's your ship, I understand that. But your focus is on the mission. Get to the bridge, assess the situation, and try and bring things under control."
You begin rushing down the hallway towards the transporter room, and you find the hallway and a small computer station in your way, completely on fire, damaged, burning. The suppressant kicks off and puts out the fire, but the way seems blocked to get to the transporter room.
Corner and almost runs into the fire and holds his forearm up in front of the face as the smoke just kind of buffets at him and, "Oh, stop! The way is blocked." He looks to Verma. "Are you familiar with this ship? Is there another way to get to the transporter?"
Verma thinks for a
There's
bit.
no other way
Is
to
there
get to the
another way that he
transporter
can-
room besides through here. You might be able to clear the debris once it cools down, but that would take quite a while.
Commander, we may have to take shuttles.
All right, that's a good point, Dr. Kaiser. Let's take the shuttle. It won't be fast enough, but all right.
And Broderick looks over to Faulkner. "You know, when you mentioned the time and place to let that shuttle rip, why don't you open it up on the way over there?"
Think I'll do that.
"I'll strap myself in."
You're able to quickly get to the shuttle bay where you had landed the runabout, and you pile inside, ready to take off.
Broderick can slide into the co-pilot seat next to Faulkner.
Everyone
What are your
strapped
orders,
in?
Commander?
Yes, Ensign Faulkner,
Will do.
I
fly
would-
out.
Kaiser would grab a couple of oxygen tanks and masks in the event that life support's out on the other ship. I don't know if we established if it was or not.
Yeah. So ensign and so the ensigns and Commander Verma, you guys are still technically in your EV suits. You have not taken them off. There would be spare EV suits in the shuttle as well. So keep that in mind.
Okay. When Dr. Kaiser raises that, excellent suggestion, Dr. Kaiser. we are all are in our EV suits, I would recommend you get in one yourself,
Of course.
just in case.
Sit on.
You take off into space as Dr. Kaiser is getting into his EV suit. You do the fall, kind of from as you're approaching the ship. It is in very, very bad shape.
I don't like the looks of this, sir.
Verma for a moment is silent as he is looking at the ship. This much damage in such a short period of time. We need to get on the bridge.
And you notice a couple things that are very obvious. The Saturn is shooting phasers back, but it doesn't appear to be doing anything to the massive cube, and that the cube is not shooting back.
This cube seems stationary now and unafflicted by any of the attacks. It does not make sense. It does not fire back. Can I roll something to kind of see if any parts of the Saturn that have been damaged are like well targeted, right? Like it's an intelligent system
I would
that's
let
attacking.
you do either security or engineering, with probably reason, unless you can think of something else. I'm open to suggestions.
Yeah. So it's more like
Or command. Yeah, I would. I'm good with
as a
that.
bridge officer. You, yeah, command. Yeah. Okay. So command.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Command
If
and
that's what you want to do, I would be good with that.
No, command and. Oh wait, no, I can't do command and security.
That's fine.
So command and reason. Okay. Okay.
I would say that's
task
a
difficulty. 1. Okay.
Yeah, and if you would have something like tactical ship combat, you would get it. That a focus would apply on that roll.
Yeah. No focus on this. Task difficulty 1.
So that's a success. So with 1 momentum. So you notice. I will whisper that to you actually. Verma.
Okay. And I want to use that 1 more momentum to get additional information based on your whisper. I'll ask you the question.
Should TD and I make our rolls?
I don't think it's necessary because Verma already succeeded.
Got it.
And you're spending a momentum for more information. Okay.
So just as an aside for a mechanical question, since I haven't played.
Sure. Yep.
So if, for example, we had say, okay, I'm going to assist. So
yep.
I would
make
make my roll, and as long as he got 1 success, then it adds on, right? But the main person has to get 1.
That sounds correct. Yes, that's correct. And you only roll 1 dice.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes.
Yes, that's correct.
But you add it to their total, so yeah, you can.
Got
I think
it.
you declare and roll before they roll, and then they roll.
Mm-hmm. Neat little mechanic.
Yep, I'm sending your back.
So that one question I asked. Interesting. They seem to have specifically targeted the communication system and taken it out completely. The rest of the ship has damage, but not as extensive as the communication system.
And Ghost, you can roll a.
It is,
I would say, basically the same thing that he rolled.
Medicine, reason, or
I don't know if medicine would
medicine, no.
apply.
Command, probably commander, engineering, and reason.
Yep, I would. Either one of those would be fine.
Payne looks up the viewport, says, "That only supports my feeling that if that thing wanted the Saturn destroyed, it would have been destroyed a long time ago, along with our cargo ship. I think we're lucky to be alive, Commander."
you are absolutely correct, Ensign Payne. You are on the money with that. It is disconcerting that they would stop the attack when they had the advantage. There is some driving intelligence behind these attacks and that cube. It is not some random space being that we have encountered.
Would you like more information than that, Ghost?
Yes.
Okay. This is something you see kind of as you're looking, but it's not exactly 100% germane.
Mm-hmm. Commander Verma, look over there. I try to point it out in the screen or whatever viewport we have at that, and you would see that there's a small ship docked with the Saturn.
Yep, and I'll let you see what that looks like. Looks essentially like this. Never seen a ship that looks like this before.
What is that? This thing just gets stranger by the minute. We have to get on board as quickly as possible.
We have to figure out, sir, what it is that they're looking for and what they want as well. But I do agree, on board first, as fast as possible.
How would you like to go about that?
Okay. Ensign Faulkner, do you see any open cargo shuttle bays on the Saturn that you can fly into?
Actually, I think I do. If you'll just give me a moment.
Let's roll. Now you can use your sensors for the. I'll just give you. Well, let's just do this. Go ahead and give me a con with a insight. No, reason. Let's do reason. Con and reason. Difficulty 1.
Would I be able to apply starship recognition to
Yes. Focus applies.
Sweet.
You're flying around the Saturn, and all you're seeing is your cargo bays looks like they're either destroyed or partially so.
I may have been wrong, Commander. This isn't looking good.
However, you do see that there are accessible hatches. This would require a spacewalk complete.
However, Commander, this may sound crazy, but there are some external hatches that I can see I might be able to get us close enough. We're going to have to do a little bit of hiking, risk ourselves out there on the surface, but looks like that may be our only way in.
All right. Let's do that. Bring us in as close as you can, Ensign Faulkner, and then we shall
Yes, sir.
do the spacewalk to get
Faulkner
on board if we
begins
can.
to maneuver in as close as possible.
Okay. So this will take a con to see how close you can actually get. There's debris flying everywhere. And the hull of the ship is in very, very bad state. So landing somewhere that is damaged could cause issues. So this is a very difficult thing. So this is a con with either daring or control. I'll leave that up to you. Difficulty 3. Co-pilot can assist.
Okay.
Anybody else who has con?
Can I apply my composure focus?
Yes.
Oh, don't forget you have momentum as well.
Yep, there are 3 momentum in the pool.
Okay. So as kind of a little bit of RP first. So as Ensign Faulkner starts bringing the shuttle about, Commander Verma starts seeing the extent of the damage. Ensign Faulkner, a moment please. Ensign Pine, if you would allow me. And he indicates he wants to get into
Sir?
the co-pilot's chair.
Yep, I have the value of basically listening to whoever's my superior without questions asked. So I will scoot out of the way.
Okay. So could we try and do like a sensor sweep, a navigation sensor sweep to kind of map out the best route past the debris to get to that port, maybe helping Ensign Faulkner
Go ahead and give me
make it a little easier to fly there.
Science, or I'm going to say engineering, and any recommendations? I would say actually, I'm actually going to say con insight for this.
Okay, con insight. Okay, con insight. Here we go.
Okay.
I'm going to use a momentum and task difficulty.
This is tough difficulty 1.
1. Okay. And
Yes.
are there, can I use helm operations as a focus? Okay. Task difficulty 1.
So you're able to find a pretty good path. You think you find some place where you can sit down without the hull collapsing underneath you. So you're going to lower your difficulty on your next roll by 1, so it'd be a difficulty 2.
Okay. So Commander Verma turns to Ensign Faulkner. Ensign Faulkner, here's a course I've laid in for you to get to that point. That point looks stable enough for the shuttle, and he enters a few quick commands into the navigation of the ship. And Ensign Faulkner, you start seeing on the heads-up display like a line that kind of goes through a bunch of waypoints around the debris to the point you need to get to.
Very good, sir.
She's all yours, Ensign.
Get us in there safe. Faulkner begins maneuvering his way through and following the route as plotted. Way to make my roll now.
Yep, go ahead.
Use some
And
momentum.
you may use momentum. If you want to use one momentum, you can get one extra die on your roll. That's the easiest way to use momentum in a case like this.
Or determination. That would give you an automatic success, right?
Yes. Perfect opportunity. Yeah.
So, yep. So you said burn one or gain an extra die. Yeah.
That if you wanted to spend a so okay, so here's pro tip, right? Okay, so if you spend a momentum, you spend one momentum for one extra die. That will give you 3 dice to roll. Your difficulty is now 2. Okay, you're trying to beat your discipline plus your attribute being meet or lower. Someone can also assist you, Commander Verma, with the piloting as your co-pilot. He'll be able to roll 1 dice, and if you succeed and he is able to succeed, then you would get an additional momentum, or I'm sorry, additional success. If you roll lower than your discipline, you will have a focus for this roll. You will get 2 successes. Okay, so that's kind of how all that works. So it's up to you to determine how much momentum to use. You also, after that, say you wanted another dice. So you need to give me, you need to spend 2 momentum, or actually a total of 3 momentum for the first and second dice, I'm pretty sure. If you don't have the momentum to do that, you can give me threat to buy it. I know that's a lot to take in, but essentially you can buy more momentum in different ways.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm going to use 1 momentum for an extra die, and you said so the TN will go up to 2, correct?
The TN is at 2. You're rolling 3 dice.
Correct. Okay.
And
okay. So that is a lot. So that's a 4. So you gain 2 momentum, and you're able to fly the ship and put it down exactly how you want it. How does that look?
So Faulkner begins to follow the course as plotted. Then at the last moment, as he's scanning around, he thinks he sees a slightly better way. Kind of veers off the course and brings everything in and sets down softly. Turns to Verma. Hope you don't mind, sir, but I saw what I thought might be a slightly better route and brought her in on that, if that's okay.
It's not a problem at all, Ensign Faulkner. Initiative, I like it. We will need more of that in the situation we are in.
Thank you, sir.
Excellent flying. All right, I shall head out first, and if everything seems fine, then you shall follow me. That Commander Verma kind of locks in the EV suit and activates it, and then he starts cycling the doors to allow pressure stabilization and eventually open it out so that he can get on the the hull of the USS Saturn.
Everyone's in their EV suits. The shuttle door opens. You step out onto the hull. Your maglev boots. Boom! As you step out, the debris is flying everywhere.
Commander Verma ducks as a debris comes close enough to his helmet. He starts walking out a little bit, ensuring that the hull underneath his feet is stable enough. Then he looks back and towards the door of the shuttle, and he kind of starts gesturing for the others to follow him out.
Brody Payne is next down on the shuttle, and inside his EV suit, you just hear this, just like completely quiet, just his breath that's coming ever more and more quickly. Places one foot in front of the other, making sure that his footfalls do not land on anything that's going to give way or cause him to get separated from the Saturn. So far, so good.
Yes. To the EV comms, Commander Verma starts looking around for the hatch.
How is Dr. Kaiser taking this ship being badly damaged?
Horribly. He's probably coming out of the shuttle visibly shaken. Perhaps not visibly shaking because the EV suit's probably rather steady and bulky, but he does look extremely bothered. He does not seem like a man at peace right now, and he'd come off. We must move quickly. There could be many lives lost in there if I'm not able to get back in before my duty, Commander.
I understand, Dr. Kaiser. We will get in there. We are not going to give up on the Saturn just yet.
Okay.
Can Commander Verma roll insight plus command to see if he can pick up if there's a distress?
You mean the three people that are with you? Sure.
Mm-hmm. Command plus insight.
With the EV suits on, too.
Task difficulty? 2. Okay.
You're going to roll 20. Oh, good.
So you're pretty sure. I mean, you from what Ghost just said about Dr. Kaiser, you're able to pick up on that. If anybody else is feeling more than just the obvious distress of the situation, you can feel free to describe that.
Ensign Payne just kind of looks behind him and sees Kaiser hesitate a little bit, but probably in his head he's just kind of thinking that he's not used to this sort of thing. Whereas Payne maybe has had some at least basic training on this sort of operation. So he turns back towards the hatch and obliviously kind of continues on his way.
Commander Verma motions Ensign Payne to move forward, and he'll fall back a bit to kind of walk abreast to Dr. Kaiser. He doesn't say anything, but he kind of stands with him and starts moving towards the hatch.
So each of you has a separate work track. This is an extended task getting to the hatch in the amount of time needed. I'm not going to tell you how quickly you need to get there, Each of you have a work track, so this is an extended task. The work is 12, which means you need 12 successes. The resistance is 1, magnitude is 3, difficulty is 2. So what this means is that you need 12 successes. The magnitude being 3 means that if you get a 5 in any of your rolls, that's a magnitude. You can finish it that way by getting 3 successes with a total of actually 6 in this case, because there's a resistance of 1, or 12 work. Actually, I'm going to make that magnitude 2, because it doesn't make sense. And difficulty of 2. So any above 2, really. So, okay. I will let. How about we just go left to right? Verma, how about you go first? The role is security and fitness, unless you can convince me it should be otherwise.
Security and fitness. Okay, so Verma is initially going to start looking around, and he's concerned about the crew with him, they're young ensigns. He wants to make sure that he sets a good example and does not rile them up or make them be concerned about the situation they're in. He walks slowly and methodically towards the hatch.
Yep.
I would like to use my focus
good.
of composure, if that applies. Okay.
Yes.
So security and fitness, correct? Okay.
Would you like to use any momentum?
2d20. Yes. Yeah. One minute. Sorry. How much we have? No, I want to keep it for them. So security and fitness. 2d20.
2.
Yes. Task difficulty 2.
All right, 3 successes. You begin to make your way along the ship, having no trouble. You're not moving particularly fast, but you're also giving others a good path to take. So you gain a momentum. Ensign Payne.
Payne will be near Commander or Verma, looking at him and trusting his.
Hey, can just a minute? I believe the work track requires us to roll off the.
That's fine.
Oh shit! I did science. 1 minute. I think the work track requires us to roll.
Oh, for how many? Oh, yeah. So yes, yeah. I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah, because that's how you would. Task difficulty 2. Okay, so I don't get the momentum, but I do cross the difficulty of the task. And
computers having issues. Hold on. Like the stupid. Yeah. Hold on. Sorry. Give me 2 seconds here.
Oh, okay. No problem. Okay. So, in the meantime, can I just explain the thing to the rest? Right. Okay. So while while Tet is fixing his computer, we
Yeah.
can just go quickly over this extended task. So think of it as, so far we've been rolling just straight up tasks, right? You take your tricorder and, you make some measurements or you gauge the situation around you, and you've been rolling 2d20s to kind of see if you succeed or fail. Extended tasks are where something like this, where you have to do an elongated period of work. So it's got two aspects to it. The first aspect is you roll the 2d20s or 3d20s based on if you're using momentum or not to succeed in actually making progress, right? And once you have succeeded in that, then you roll the challenge dice. And the challenge dice are the d6 dice with a few modifications done to it. The number of challenge dice that you roll is 2 plus the discipline that you used. So in my case, my security is 4, so I'd be rolling 6 challenge dice. Based on the output of those challenge dice, say the challenge dice, after rolling 6, say I get all 1s, then I've completed 6 amount of work on that 12. And then there are some sub rules. The sub rules are if you complete 5 or more work, then you make a breakthrough, and the magnitude represents the breakthrough that we've been discussing.
My USB port. I'm back.
Also, keep in mind that if we're ensigns, so it doesn't count for Verma, but as ensigns, if you spend momentum on a task, you roll a challenge die to see if you generate additional momentum or threat.
That's right. Untap potential for crew pass.
Yep.
All right. So go back to this. So six challenge dice for Verma. 4.
Okay, so here goes.
So it's going to be
dice.
3. Is it resistance of 1?
4. Correct. Wait. There's also one little thing somewhere about the effects rolled. Okay, I think that's fine. For now, we can move on, then I can look up on the
next person, Instant Pain. So go ahead and roll your fitness and security. Difficulty 2. Yeah, any focus applies. Let me know.
I don't have any focus, but I have. I'm going to spend 1 momentum.
Okay. So you roll 3 dice.
Yep, and then we'll do a challenge die after that.
Yep, based on you succeed or not.
Task difficulty is 2.
Yeah, you're unable.
Why'd say 2? Supposed to roll another one then, huh?
Yeah, you should just go ahead and roll. No, you're unable to. You begin to walk, and your foot gets stuck on a piece of misshapen metal, and you're slowed. Go ahead, Dr. Kaiser.
Security fitness.
Yep.
So do I still roll that d6 then?
No, you fail.
No, it's only if you succeed.
Yeah.
If you spend momentum and succeed a test, you roll it then. Challenge die.
Not even from the untapped potential or whatever?
Yeah.
Untapped potential. Yeah, you didn't roll a challenge dice because you didn't succeed. So if you rolled if you got a success.
Okay, got it.
Or I'm sorry, if you succeeded the task, you'd roll the challenge dice, and if you got an effect, you would roll.
All right.
Yeah, security fitness.
And you roll 6 challenge die.
4 for you.
Oh, 4? Okay.
Mm. 5, so it's 4. So actually, how does that look as you start to outpace Verma.
So Dr. Kaiser was very serious when he said he needed to get in here immediately. So it's running through his mind is that all the crew on this ship that are in there dying, life support failing on certain sections of the ship, crew quarters, people injured, pinned against walls, any number of horrific things that he's seen and experienced from his previous tenure on the Gerlukovich. And so that's what drives him. Anything in his way, he steps over it. He's going past it. It's just forward steps as you see sweat probably beginning to build up inside of the visor and everything for the EV mask.
Now you can do immediate momentum spins for additional work, or re-roll that. I don't know that you can do that, but if you do additional work, you would get a breakthrough. Just to let you know, 'cause that would put you at 5, and 2 breakthroughs get you to the door.
Okay. What is it for a breakthrough? Or do we not know?
It's 5. You need it's always 5, but there's 1 resistance, so you actually need 6. So you rolled 5 minus 1. So if you got yourself
I'll
1,
spend. We got momentum, don't we?
I believe you do. I
Let's
believe
see.
you have 2 or 3.
You have
I'll
3.
spend
You have
3. I'll
right
spend
now.
1.
Okay.
Get the breakthrough.
So that's yep. Yeah, that's always a known thing. So it's not like a breakthrough. So you're hustling. Ensign Faulkner.
I'm going to spend a momentum. So
Okay.
and then
You'll
if
roll
I
3
can,
dice.
yep. And then for my focus, can I use composure?
Yes.
Okay. And then the task difficulty is 2.
Correct. Yeah, you like Ensign Payne are just not able to find a good path forward. You have to stop and walk around a massive hole in the hull, which is slowing you down significantly.
Okay.
Ghost, roll untapped potential too. While we're at it.
I didn't use my minimum. Oh, I did actually. I used it on a challenge though, right? Does it still count?
You used it at me
right.
spin. So yeah, okay. Verma, you're up again.
Okay. So just RP wise, what does it look like right now?
Say that
Commander
again.
Verma
Cut
is a
out.
little closer, and so is Dr. Kaiser. Oh, sorry. Like kind of roleplay wise and distance wise, does it look like Commander Verma and Dr.
absolutely.
Kaiser are closer to the?
You are closer than Ensign Payne and Faulkner.
Okay, and okay,
He's actually
and Dr. Kaiser
closest.
also
He's
is
further
just
than
as
you.
close, correct? Okay, so Commander Verma is going to look at Ensign Payne and Ensign Faulkner and Dr. Kaiser. Dr. Kaiser, great progress. Continue towards the door. We'll be right behind you. Ensign Payne, Ensign Faulkner, follow in my footsteps. We are going to get to that door. I'm going to use my spirit of discovery. So I have the drive and spirit and courage to voyage into the unknown. May spend 1 determination to add 3 points to the group momentum pool. So I'm going to do that for my action.
Got it.
Not.
So you now have 4 momentum in the pool.
That's it. It's almost like instead of moving forward towards the door, Commander Verma is like kind of there and
encouraging them.
What's the word? Encouraging them to kind of
Dr. Kaiser, you're up first.
Or it's up to me again.
Yeah, you're up next. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That is a success, so you're going to roll 4 challenge dice. Okay. So a 2, you can use momentum to do extra work, re-roll as many challenge dice as you want. Those are the big ones in this case.
I'll re-roll 2 challenge die.
Okay.
Is it 1 to re-roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll any amount.
Oh, good. I'll just be satisfied with the one.
Yeah, so you're getting close, but still not quite there. Start getting slowed down by debris. All right, Ensign Payne.
Are you able to use momentum and determination or no?
Yes.
I'm going to do that.
So determination, to use determination, you have to what value are you use?
Oh, okay. I know. Let me look here.
It's more of a role play thing. But...
you can rely only on yourself. So he gets kind of stuck on the piece of metal and starts to get kind of angry, especially seeing the others go forward. Not bad angry, but just kind of not wanting to be shown up, wanting to show that he can make it on his own. And so he just kind of tries to wrench his foot free as hard as he can, and hopefully that momentum doesn't bring him off the side of the ship.
Okay, so you're using determination for perfect opportunity, I'm assuming, which is 1 as you rolled a 1. Okay.
And then I'm going to roll 3d20 and use a momentum as well.
So mechanically speaking, by doing that,
it's not
you
just
have
like
already
one success
succeeded
out of
at
2,
the task.
or it's like a total.
No, it's a total. So basically, if you do your determination, that's 2 successes right there.
Okay.
So now if you wanted to like try to pack it on, right? You could generate momentum, but you're spending a momentum to generate momentum. So I'm not sure it makes sense to use anything out of the pool.
I thought it just gave me like a free point of success, not a overall. So so I'm just going to roll my challenge dice then.
Yep. So what is your security?
So my security is going to be 4. So I roll 4.
Okay, so you're gonna roll 6.
6.
6 challenge dice. That boy fast.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that is
Who's your anger?
Nice.
that is number 1, a breakthrough, and you are speeding along. So how does that look? You catch up with Dr. Kaiser.
So he does wrench free, and like there's a piece of metal that like a rebar looking type of thing. It kind of bends, pulls his boot free. He almost careens off the side of the ship, grabs onto something, kind of pulls himself back down. You can hear the breathing inside of his suit, and then eventually catches up with the others. Easy does it. Ain't that right, boys?
All right. Go ahead, TD.
Hang on a second. I'm now experiencing. Never mind. I'm fine. I've gone back a slide. Okay, so this was security.
Yep. Fitness, security. You can use a momentum if you would like. You can use a point of determination if you like.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything that would really apply, but I will spend momentum.
Okay. I give you 3 dice. Yeah, you just cannot make any progress for whatever reason. What does that look like for you?
So, Faulkner keeps trying to make his way through, and he gets hung up on something that the commander had said about taking up initiative, and he just keeps running that through his head like, hey, I just did a good job. Then he has this he's kind of overly scrutinizing everything that's here on the ship, and he keeps getting hung up. So it's not so much that he's physically barred as he is just mentally being barred as he's attempting to make his way through the ship.
Okay. So just to let Kaiser and Payne know, you've reached the hatch, because when you roll an effect, when you roll a breakthrough, you get another breakthrough. So you technically have met the magnitude of the work. So you are at the hatch, both of you. Verma, you're seeing that 2 of the ensigns are at the hatch, but 1 is not moving very fast.
Okay. So roleplay wise, what I'm trying to do here is use some of my. Let's first see if I succeed on.
No momentum used.
Security plus fitness. Yes. Hold on. I'm going to use a momentum to roll 3 dice. Applicable focus of composure. Task difficulty of 2.
Very nice.
So there is a
that
bug,
should be
I think,
2.
in my sheet. That should be 2.
Unless it did. Yeah, so 4.
So
So
2
that
plus 1
generates 2 momentum, and that's obviously a success.
Yep. Okay. So 6 challenge die. 5. I'm going to use 1 to re-roll 3.
All right. So that's good enough for that will get you to the hatch. Double breakthrough.
Yes. So, but however,
I'd be cool with it.
So this is kind of role play wise. If you're cool with it, I don't want to get the breakthrough. I want to use some of that work to try and help Ensign Faulkner get closer to the hatch.
I'll let you give that to his work track. So you basically Okay, how does that look as you get him to the hatch instead of?
Yep. So as Commander Verma sees that Ensign Payne and Dr. Kaiser are almost at the hatch, he looks back and he sees Ensign Faulkner is walking a little slower and paying closer attention to where he's walking, and he realizes within him is that the situation has called upon someone who's adept at flying spaceships to do an EV walk, and he remembers some of his training days, and he says, Ensign Faulkner, you can do it. Follow my lead. And he kind of walks back a little and kind of links up his arm so that there's this, there is some guidance, and he starts walking with him down towards that hatch, allowing Ensign Faulkner to kind of get past the obstacles that he's seeing in his way.
Faulkner will sort of shake the cobwebs as he comes to the realization that he is holding up the rest of the crew here. Looks to Verma, and he sort of shakes his head briefly. He goes, apologies, Commander. And then
None necessary, Ensign Faulkner. You're doing good progress. We just have to keep at it. These are trying times. Your training will come to you.
Again, though, I do apologize.
As the ensign is apologizing, the other two, all three of the ensigns are actually standing around by the hatch. And I'm going to use some threat to create a complication. Beneath Commander Verma, there is a loud as the hull cracks beneath his feet, and one of his maglev boots is attached to the hull that sinks into the ship, trapping his leg.
Commander Verma is like, ah! And he looks up and continues to motion for them to move forward and tries to starts moving his legs to try and see if he can get out of that hole.
What do the ensigns do? You can easily open the hatch and go inside, or you can go back.
Who's up? Is it Kaiser's turn?
Yeah,
Kaiser,
we're not kind of. You guys just decide what you're going to do, and then we'll decide if turns are needed.
Kaiser would be getting ready to open the hatch, then hear the turn around.
Mm-hmm.
He'd look back and, oh no, the commander. And he'd look back down the hatch and look back at the Ensign Payne. I think you're probably the strongest of us. Can you help Commander Verma free himself? I simply must get down there. There's so many people struggling and dying. I can feel it.
Absolutely, Doctor. You do your duty, and I'll do mine. He looks over at the commander. And how far am I away? Just a couple body lengths, or?
You are, a couple body lengths or 9 work.
9 work.
If you go back out there, you'll have to start your track over at 9.
That's what I gotta do. I have the value Starfleet is secure. I don't know what that means, but I think it means just do my duty. So
yeah. Ensign Faulkner, what are you doing?
I don't believe Faulkner was that far in front, though. Correct?
You scored. You got 2 breaches, so you're at the hatch.
Okay.
Or breakthroughs. No, sorry.
Gotcha. Right.
You can either go into the hatch, or you can go back. If you go back to where Commander Verma and Ensign Payne are, you start at 9.
Right.
What is Commander Verma? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No. Faulkner is going to go through the hatch and continue on with Dr. Kaiser, knowing that Payne is going back to assist Verma.
You pull up the hatch after not much trouble, actually, and you're able to climb the ladder down. You notice as you go down, the compartment is whole, but now is depressurized as you enter, which is what you would expect coming in. The 2 on the hull, would you like you both to roll 3 challenge dice as a debris field flies towards you? Actually, first, go ahead and give me a fitness and security difficulty 2 to avoid the...
I guess it may not work, but when Commander Verma sees Ensign Payne starting to come back from the hatch towards him, he's like, "Ensign, stay with the doctor. I can take care of myself. You need to make sure that he gets to the medical bay as quickly as possible."
Yeah, you can make your decision.
Yeah, I have 2 conflicting values here. Because one of them is Starship is secure, and the other one is
challenge of a value, my friend.
Yep.
You can challenge a value. That's always been a little weird. I don't know exactly how. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So actually, this is the perfect scenario for that. Yeah. So you used a value previously, which means you cannot
Yeah.
use it again, right? To roll that determination, but when you challenge a value, you get that one more opportunity
And
for the determination.
Yeah, and then you would strike
Because
out the value
it's
and
a big
change it
personal
next
thing.
time.
So if I use Starfleet is secure now, because last time I used can only rely on myself. That is a different one.
Do you have any values that have to do with following orders?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Then that might be one to challenge here because he's technically
Yeah.
telling you to go on. But if
Yep.
you're gonna be the good guy, no, I'm gonna help you, sir. Type. I don't care what you
Yeah.
say.
So I'll
then
challenge
maybe
that
strike
one then.
that one.
So I have to make a roll or just.
No.
Nope, this happens.
Yep.
RP it.
So yeah. How do you? He's telling you to go, but.
And Verma kind of sees Payne look down the hatch after Kaiser and Faulkner climb in, and then he doesn't hear anything because it's space, but he kind of sees Verma kind of go down through the ship, and he reflexively just kind of turns around and starts to bound a little hop across towards him, extending his hand, and he hears Verma come through the comm telling him to stop. He just ignores it, and he goes and grabs Verma, tries to pull him up through the decayed crust of the ship or whatever it is. We still have this debris flying at us, right?
Yes, you do. Fitness and security difficulty 2 to
both
avoid
of
it.
us.
Anybody outside the ship.
So I want to purchase another D20 with threat.
Sure.
So I want to do that because that way I can use my security bold and re-roll if I fail.
Okay. Is it 1 for 1?
Yep, it's 1 for 1.
Threat.
So
Yeah,
I can
you're
roll,
right.
roll one of the D20s. So
threat
it's
is
going to
1
be
for
fitness and security, you said?
Yep. And you're purchasing a momentum with threat, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you have 3 momentum.
What's the task difficulty? Is 2?
2.
Oh, I can re-roll it though.
Shit.
Yeah, because
With bold,
Yes.
you might want to.
Mm-hmm. So fitness. Just roll the 1d20 this time, right?
Mm-hmm. Anything's better than 20 besides another 20, so.
There you go.
There you go.
So two successes total then.
Okay. Yep. You avoid the debris. How does that?
Barely. So a
Minus
little
1.
tiny piece of it clanks off his helmet, but the big piece kind of flies overhead, and he tries to grab Verma, and he can see Verma's mouth in there yelling at him, and he kind of like acting like his comm doesn't work now. You can't hear him. Just not picking up.
All right, Verma, what about you?
So Verma is seeing that Ensign Payne is putting his life in jeopardy. I'm going to use an extra momentum to roll 3d20. He's putting extra effort to get his leg free and kind of help the situation, but at the same time not lose his composure, applying the focus.
Oh man,
Baller.
well, you definitely avoided it. So that one should be a 2 as well. So that's 5. So 3 momentum. Good.
Yeah.
Does Payne need to roll a momentum die, a challenge die for
So
momentum?
with Ensign Payne's,
Not if they succeed. What do you mean?
Challenge die
Challenge die.
for because he spent momentum, didn't he? He's an ensign.
He's
Oh,
Verma
spent,
or
no,
I
not
was supposed
Verma.
to, I was
Payne.
supposed to write one. I was supposed to roll
oh
one.
yeah, go ahead and roll one challenge die.
Just see. There you go.
You got it. So you get an extra momentum. Yeah, thanks. We always forgot that.
hey, nice.
I think you get threat
Always.
from that too because it's an effect.
Yeah, we always forget that.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh
Okay.
shit. You
So,
get threat and a momentum. You're right.
Commander Verma, with that roll, you're able to free your leg, and you avoid the debris.
Ensign Payne, thank you, but I find it hard to believe that your comm is out. Anyway, let's get
Seems
back.
to be working now, Commander.
Commander Verma is smiling,
All right, give me a work.
and they start their trek towards the hatch.
You're at 9 right now.
Okay.
One breakthrough will get you back.
9. Okay, so.
Wow. Okay.
Baller.
So that's 8. So that's the breakthrough. So you can get to the hatch, Verma.
Yep. So Verma starts.
You need to roll
not wanting
your
to
fitness
cause
and
any more delay and. Oh, sorry. There we go. Fitness and security. Fitness.
Two. Mhm.
What's the task difficulty on this? 2 still? Okay, so I'm going to buy 1 momentum to roll 3.
That's 2. Yep. So you got there.
Ooh. Yeah, that's 2.
It's just on that. It's on that die for some
Oh,
reason.
why? I need to fix that. God damn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's some bug there in
Uh,
that particular part of
yep.
the sheet. I need to fix it. So Verma not wanting to delay things any further and risk the ensign's life by trying to save his superior officer. He kind of starts moving towards the hatch with purpose this time
Right, Ensign Payne.
and gets there.
Security fitness again.
Yep. You have plenty of momentum. So
Should probably buy 2 of them, huh?
that would cost 3.
3.
But it's just fine. It would be fine.
You're the most
No, just-
fit. You could
it's
probably
fine.
pass
Do
with
it.
3.
Yeah.
The roll 4 die. You're gonna spend on 3.
Yeah, we'll roll 4 of them. Nope.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, that's really bad.
Wow.
No, he failed.
Roll your challenge die to see if you get the momentum back.
Failure.
Oh, he failed.
So
Yeah.
RP wise, I get Verma off, but then kind of that momentum of pulling him out, I kind of like slip and almost kind of careen again off the side of the ship and grab a piece of debris, and my legs are kind of like, I'm upside down, and I then slowly kind of pull myself down to the hull of the ship again. Ah!
Go ahead and roll fitness security difficulty 3.
I'm gonna get vented. Red shirts, that's what happens. I'll have to use it.
You can use there's a single momentum. Yeah.
No.
Oh my god.
All right. Roll 3 challenge dice. That's how much stress you take. Take. actually for RP purposes. So this debris comes, and this large beam, like, more pushes you than hits you, and you leave your feet and fly through space away from this part of the hull, landing on another section of the ship, maybe? It's hard for the others to see where you come down at, but you are well away from the others as your spacewalk ends quite differently than those around the hatch. So feel free to give me some final role play.
Commander Verma, as he gets to the hatch and he's opening it, his gut tells him something is wrong, and he turns around just in time to see this debris hit Ensign Payne, and kind of from his vantage point it looks like he has been pushed out into space, and as the camera kind of closes in on Commander Verma's, you can see that his hands are outstretched to try and stop it with futility, and the face is like a mix of anger and like more of anger and fear. Some part of his past is being replayed at this point.
Yeah, Payne's kind of pushed off to the side and
No!
about ready to get on his way, and that thing comes across and just knocks him off. He loses his grasp and reaches his left hand out towards Verma, but there's like a couple meters between their hands to grab each other, and he just gets kind of knocked away into space and kind of careens and lands on a separate part of the ship.
Unknown to Verma and the rest, Payne ends up somewhere else, not just floating aimlessly through space, as Commander Verma heads down the hatch, pulls it closed, and the scene fades to black. And that's it.
Oh, that's fun. Thanks, Tet.